Yo, what's up guys? So today we're going to be doing a beginner's guide in Tekken 8 of my favorite character and my personal main, Jin Kazama. I've been playing him for about a day now. I've had a lot of fun with him. I think I've learned a lot. I think he's definitely very different from in Tekken 7, but I definitely think he's probably the strongest character or second strongest character in the game. And he is also like very, very easy, making him very beginner friendly. He's kind of like the perfect new character to pick up if you're looking to learn some basic Tekken fundamentals. Now, as I said earlier, this is a beginner's guide, so don't expect this is we're not going to go into any advanced stuff. This is just kind of like if you're new to the game and you like a character, you don't really want to go into a guide just being like, oh, okay, these are these combos, and you don't even know what's going on the screen. You want to get a feel for your character, right? Get a feel for like what are his best moves, what kind of stuff like should I be using, what moves do I use in which situation. I feel like getting that framework first as like the basis of a character is really important, rather than just going into like all these like super advanced guides when you're trying to learn. Now, that being said, it's a beginner's guide, but I'm going to be coming in here assuming you do have some prior knowledge, specifically of notations. If you don't know, each limb corresponds to a number. Left, it's one. Oh, sorry. This is going to keep happening throughout the thing because there's no training mode, unfortunately, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 for each of the limbs. That's really basic stuff, though. You can look up guides for that. And also, I'm not going to be getting too deep into combos because, as I said before, there's plenty of videos going over that stuff. So anyway, Jin Kazama. Jin is very strong in this game, and he is very simple, which is kind of different from Tekken 7, because in Tekken 7, most people believed he was a strong character. I thought he was definitely a strong character, but he was very difficult, right? He had one of the hardest combos in the game with the forward 4, not going into Zen. He had like such a big move list, right? And all of his moves are so important. You want to be able to use all of them right. But in Tekken 8, it kind of seems like they've leaned away from that like philosophy of the character, and they've made him a lot more beginner friendly. Mainly because they've toned his execution down a lot. His forward 4 combos are now basically brain dead. Anyone can kind of do it. And they've given him like very strong tools for neutral that like kind of overshadow the rest of his kit, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are talking about how they don't like it. Me personally, I do like it. Generally in fighting games, I like picking easier characters so I can focus more on the fundamentals. But anyway, yeah, this is Jin Kazama. The main difference from Tekken 7 is his jab, which is like, so in Tekken, jabbing is very important. Obviously, jabbing is it's +1 on block. If we get him to block. Where would it even be? Practice settings, standing block. Yeah, so jabbing is +1. It gives you frame advantage. You want to be jabbing a lot and then catching them with... because they're going to try and duck when you're jabbing, right? And that's when you have your down forward 1. So Jin's neutral tools, basically, we have jab. It now has range. In Tekken 7, this move, like, you didn't really use jab a lot. I mean, it was still good, but it's nowhere near where it is now. Like, this hits really far. And also his down forward 1, which is the mid mix-up. Look at this range. This is some crazy range. And naturally you have a down forward 1, 4, you have a follow-up. Obviously it's -9, but it is still safe. So yeah, in neutral you kind of just want to be throwing your jab out. One of the strongest jabs in the game. And then when they start to look for ducks, you mix it up with down forward 1. You can look for this as well, the down forward 1, 4 follow-up. It's a little string that's safe. That being said, it is kind of risky, because if you just press 4, you get this, it's a high, which if they know, they can duck that and they're going to launch you. So you kind of got to be careful. If you kind of press it twice, if you press 4 twice, you get a mid variation, which they can't duck, but I don't know if you guys can tell, there's a lot of delay. There's a lot of startup, which a lot of the time you're going to get blasted for looking for this. So not the greatest, but it's there, it's a mix-up. Generally, you just want to be doing down forward 1, mixing it in with your jab. And then we get into Jin's... We'll start with this forward 4, I guess, because obviously there's like the two really big moves that are the main part of this kit. So forward 4, this move is busted, just as busted as it was in Tekken 7. It's safe on block, and it's a counter hit launcher that explodes. But the difference is, if we set him to standing, and then we set player counter to counter hit. Now, my execution is going to be a little off because I am doing this on pad, whereas normally I'm a keyboard player, but I'm sure I'll be able to figure it out. Look how easy that pickup is, right? In Tekken 7, you couldn't do that, and this was like insanely hard to hit. Now, literally, you hit them with a counter hit, you walk up, you back 3-2, and then you start your combo. which I'll touch on combos maybe a little bit later, but like I don't want to get into that too much. So we have your jab, your down forward 1, and then your forward 4. This is kind of your zoning tool, you could say. Like if you're sidestepping around and your opponent just keeps pressing, you can look for this. It has very good range, very good damage if you get combos off of it. There's like a lot of stuff you can do with this. You can go for a pickup like this, which is a little bit more difficult. Still nowhere near as difficult as it was in Tekken. But yeah, standing 4, or sorry, not forward 4. Forward 4 is going to be one of your main moves in neutral. You don't want to be throwing it out too often because, as you can see, it's 16 frames startup, which means a lot of people, if they're pressing, like they're pressing their bullshit strings, which you know the Asuka and June and fucking Azucena players are just going to be spinning around, mashing their strings. So you want to be like careful with it, but this is probably one of your best moves. And then we'll go into his second best move, which obviously everyone's talked loads about, which is his down 2. This move is completely busted. It wasn't particularly nerfed in the beta, because in the closed network test, the first one, everyone thought it would be nerfed. It really wasn't. This is a low that is relatively safe. I believe if we check here, is it minus 13? Wait, oops, my bad. Crouching block. Minus 14. So this is not launch punishable, besides a couple characters. And the reward off this move is fucking insane. The risk reward is just so skewed for Jin on this move. It's a counter hit launcher, so if they press, they explode. It also high crushes, so if they use any type of high, they explode. And if we just set him to... we don't want counter hits. We'll set this back to normal. Look at that damage. 22 damage. Very, very, very strong low. This is the main low you're going to be using. In Tekken 7, we had to like kind of work around using his hell sweep, down back 4, down 4. Now, generally, you just want to be using this for pressure, because it's so worth it to use, and it's so safe, and it's so powerful. I don't know why it does this much damage, and I don't know why it counter hit launches, but yeah, if they're pressing or they use a high, you can throw this out, you get a full combo, and they just explode, because Tekken 8 damage, and Jin just does insane damage in this game. Down 4 is busted. Now, we have to remember that he's also a Mishima. If you guys don't know what that is, it's kind of like the archetype of like Kazuya, Heihachi, who's not even in this game, Devil Jin, and Jin to a lesser extent. Jin's more of like, he's an all-arounder, he can kind of do it all, and he has like other stuff. He doesn't rely on the Mishima game plan. But Jin is a Mishima, which means we have a wave dash, means we have an electric, and it means we have a hell sweep. Now, these tools, we'll start with the hell sweep, because the hell sweep is very, very nerfed compared to Tekken 7. In Tekken 7, if you hit this, you get like a 50 damage combo. Now, Hell Sweep no longer launches. You just get a follow-up. So we're gonna be using Wave Dash out of like a bunch of moves to like mix stuff up. But generally, you don't want to be using this too willy-nilly around. It is super launch punishable if they block, and it's not like it does damage, but it's nowhere near Kazuya's Hell Sweep or like a bunch of other, or probably Devil Jin's Hell Sweep is going to be way better as well. And then we have the Electric Wind God Fist, or I guess Electric Wind Hook Fist. This is a staple of Jin's game plan. But it's kind of like, I like Jin because he has the tools, but like he doesn't rely on them. Like everyone likes Electric. Obviously, it's a frame tight input. It's not super hard. If you just kind of practice it, you'll get into the groove. But this launches, now you don't even need the Electric. Because of Jin's buffs in Tekken 8, you can just get a normal Wind God Fist, or fucking Wind Hook Fist, whatever, and it launches. And you just get a full combo, just like this, no worries. So, you still want to be landing the Electric, obviously, because it's extra damage. You can also land 2 Electrics, which you couldn't in Tekken 7. But the Electric, Wind God Fist, Electric Wind Hook Fist, is +5 on block. It has a unique property. Not many other moves are like that in the game, which obviously will automatically make it one of the best moves in the game. Wait, is that a standing block? Oh, my bad. Standing block. So as we can see, it's +5. +5 in a game like this, where it's so heavily based on like throwing out strings because aggression is rewarded so much in the heat system. +5 is huge. Arguably, I think the Electrics universally got buffed because of the new mechanics in Tekken 8. So this is a great move to have in your arsenal. You can't really fuck it up too much. You want to throw it out when your opponent's kind of like scared. Like when you when you do like a heat engager and your opponent's scared of taking chip damage, you want to be able to go for stuff like this. Yeah, so that's the electric combos. Safe. It is a high, so if your opponent, you don't want to spam this, because if your opponent catches on, he'll duck and you'll explode, because they can pretty much do whatever they want if they duck it. Tracks in this game though, which is pretty fucking sweet. So we've done electric, we've done forward 4, we've done down 4, we've done jab, and we've done down forward 1. Now strings are very important in this game. It is an aggressive fighting game, so Jin does have strings, and his strings are pretty good. They're less gimmicky in the way of like throwing out strings that if your opponent presses they get counter hit launched. They more focus on just like safe pressure, and that's kind of like a theme with Jin. He has great aggressive tools, but he also has great safe pressure. So back to 1. This game is basically unchanged. This move is basically unchanged from Tekken 7, and it is a very, very strong 2-hit string. It's safe on block, and it's kind of good to close the gap, right? This is especially good when you're in heats because of the chip damage, and a lot of people will press thinking it's punishable. It is not. I believe it's -9. Actually, for the strings, we'll set into block. Why not? Yeah, so it's -9, safe on block. Great move to throw out. Another one is the 2-1-4. This is arguably one of the best strings in the game. It is a high mid-mid, so they can't duck it or no shit like that. I think if they do press, you do get a counter hit launch off the 4. I don't know for sure, but this is a good move to throw out when you're pressuring your opponent. You got them at the wall, you can like electric, 1-2-4, or sorry, 2-1-4. And you have mix-ups off of this too. So if you press 2-1-4-4, you get a low. Now this is kind of like, this is a beginner guide, so I'm going to be giving you guys like kind of like strategies in the earlier ranks. This is a kind of a noob killer. In high level, you're not going to see this used basically ever because it is slow, it's very reactable, but new players are not going to be expecting this. So you can kind of throw a 2-1-4-4 low and then get a down 2 on the ground. Just a mix up. Obviously don't use it too much because it is very unsafe, but Jin has options. In terms of other strings, you also have... Sorry, I don't know why I keep getting matches. When you're actually looking for a match, you can't find one, but when I'm recording a guide, I get matches non-stop. It's just how it goes sometimes. 1-2-3 is a nice string. It is neutral because we're ending it with the forward 3. So your opponent does have a good amount of time to press in between the 1-2 and the 3, but if they are respecting you and they're scared, this is a good string to go for just to kind of like reset neutral back in your favor because it's 0 on block. 1-2-4 is a high string. This one's a little bit more risky. It's only -4, so it's probably one of his safer strings, but generally strings that end with a high against good players are going to be ducking that and they're going to be exploding you. But it's good to have the option, right? It's just like some more things to think about in Jin's neutral. So those are his main strings that I use. There's other stuff. There's back 3-1 is more of a combo extender, but you can use it as a string. Again, kind of like a mid-level cheese strat, but you have a couple different options. You can do back 1-2 and you get this -14. But like you have options, right? There's always stuff you can do. You can do this -9, but it is a high. Sorry, this is back 1-3. Is there a way for me to show my inputs? That'd probably be easier, right? I don't know why I didn't have that from the beginning. My bad, bro. My bad, guys. Anyway, those are the strings. I think I'll do punishment really quickly because it's largely unchanged from Tekken 7. So if you are coming from Tekken 7, you probably know already. But I want to cater to new people as well. So your 10 frame punish is your 2-4. It's kind of nerfed in this game. It no longer launches. So generally, this is your go-to punish. 29 damage, just 2-4. Now, it doesn't knock down, but what's new to this game is you can cancel it into Zen. So Zen is Jin's main stance. Generally, if you hold forward after certain moves, it brings you into Zen. And new in this game, well, not new in this game, but it's a lot easier in this game. You can cancel Zen into crouch dash. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I press 2-4, you can kind of see how I step forward. That's my stance. And already after this, let's say you hit them with this, you're plus, what are you? You're plus 14. And if your opponent presses, which a lot of lower players will, you can transition into stance and you can kind of catch them. So the main noob stomper you can do here is 2-4. Sorry, 2-4-2. 2-4, hold forward, and 2. If they press, this goes through, and you get, it serves as a heat engager. and you can start your pressure and your Jin game plan, right? So out of 2-4, again, you don't want to be spamming this, because if they realize that like every time you punish them, you're going into stance, and you're trying to like overextend, they can't kill you for it. But against mashy players, you punish something with a 2-4, you can throw out this move out of your stance, and you can kind of fuck them. Kind of a low rank cheese thing. You also have one, which is a safe mid, I believe, out of the stance. You have mid for 3, and then I believe this is the one I see a lot of people doing, which is 4. This is new to Tekken 8. In Tekken 7, it was kind of like a low sweep, but now if you go into stance and you press 4, it's kind of like this. Now this is actually safe, however, I don't recommend doing it. It leaves you very open, the startup's long, you're asking to be like slapped out of this, so I don't recommend using this out of your stance. I believe there was one other. How to do it. Yeah, okay, so out of your stance, so we're doing 2-4 forward, but there's like a bunch of other moves. Forward 4, if you hold forward, you go into stance. You can kind of like figure out which moves bring you into stance. Out of stance, we can do 1+2. Oops. And we get a little low combo. Now, again, this is also very strong in low levels, in the low ranks. A lot of people aren't expecting this, and you do get high crush, so if people are trying to mash jab, they kind of get exploded, and you get an easy 30. So you want to mix those up out of stance whenever you go into it. What's also cool about Jin is, off of your stance, you can cancel it into a crouch dash, like this, and when you do that, you get the new thing in this game called, it's like, I'm just going to call it glowy eyes. You see how his eyes kind of turn red? So, because we get wave dash, and because his eyes are red, you get guaranteed electrics, meaning you don't have to time it. There's no frame perfect timer. If you just do the input for hook fist, you get an electric automatically. And as you can imagine, this is very strong in situations like this, where you punish them, and because you're plus, right? Look at it, you're plus 14 after this. If you think your opponent's going to press or something, or if you just want more frame, you can do this. Just press 2. All you gotta do is crouch dash, press 2, you get a free electric. Very useful. And this goes with the theme of kind of like making making Jin a little bit more accessible in Tekken 8, because they gave you free electrics. You also get free electrics when you're in heat mode. Whenever you have heat on, if you miss an electric, it just gives it to you for free. Granted, it takes up meter, but yeah. So if you can't hit your electrics, definitely don't worry. It's kind of something you can work on in the background. You don't really, like, it's not like required. The main 2 moves are just like your jab, your down forward 1, and then your forward 4, and your down 2. But yeah, so you can cancel out of stance, you can get a wave dash. Very, very helpful for a lot of situations. There's a lot of stuff you can do with that. Sorry, I was doing punishment. I got so off track. Anyway, 2-4 is his 10 frame punish. Oops. 1+2 is his 12 frame punish. There's also a heat engager in this game, which is new. It's not really worth going for. It does less damage than the 10 frame, but you do get a heat engager. Generally, I don't know if you'd really want a heat engager just off a basic punish, so I don't know if it's the strongest thing in the world. Forward 1+2 is your 14. This is your 14 frame punisher. You get a lot of damage. I wonder, is this a heat dash as well? Yeah, it is. So when you have heat, you can do a dash out of that and then extend combos further. And then your 15 frame is either you can do a can, which is down 3+4, standard launch, nothing crazy, or a hop kick. So you don't really need. Oh, and sorry, the electric is also 14 frames. If you have good enough execution, you can get that. Yeah. So basic. Can or hop kick has a 15 frame punish. Start combos. We get juicy damage on this character. Even without rage, you're getting like 76 damage. Or sorry, not without rage, without heat. A lot of the heat stuff is like kind of unexplored because the game is still so new. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys like a basic overview of Jin and how he plays. You use your strings, you use your broken down 4, use your forward 4. What else? Oh, okay, I'll touch on a little bit on heat. Obviously, when you're in heat, You do chip damage, which is very strong. While you're in heat, you get free electrics, which is very strong. You don't have to worry about like misinputting or anything like that. And your heat smash is this move. So if you just press the heat button again after being in heat, you get this. Super flashy, does a fuck ton of damage. It's very slow, 28 frames to start up, but if you go for like a big sidestep or something and you're in heat, you can go for this. You can also go for this to finish combos. However, the damage is like greatly reduced. Here, I'll show you guys. We do like... As you can see, damage is like, it's like nothing compared to what it was before. But, you know, it's still an option. His rage drive is just a standard rage drive, nothing too crazy. Oh, okay, so some moves I forgot. There's a couple moves that you'll want to be using a little bit more as you get better and you climb up the ranks. So Jin's down 2 is a new move. His old down 2 in Tekken 7 was a lot better in my opinion. However, this serves as a safe mid that tracks. So if your opponent starts sidestepping, your sorry, not down 2. Did I say down 2? I'm tired. Your down forward 2 serves as your main tracking move. You can also cancel into Zen, or sorry, do you get Zen off of this or just... You can cancel this with, no, just a wave dash. So you can cancel a wave dash and you can actually get combos. So if we, or sorry, if we, you can get stuff like that. So, down forward 2, very good move. And then one of his best moves, and this is going to help you guys a lot with climbing ranks, is his while standing 2. So his while standing 2, it's his 14 frame Punisher, but when people are pressing and people are doing strings, as soon as you see a high, you duck, boom, full launch. They explode. Very fast move, and 14 frames means you have a better while standing launcher than most characters, because most characters have a 15 frame these days. So yeah, while standing 2 is like a very good move, especially if like they're throwing a lot of jabs. Just do a while standing 2, and you can start your combo that way. I'd say it's one of his best combo starters. We have forward 3, which is like pretty heavily nerfed compared to Tekken 7. This is also a combo starter. It's completely safe on block, and you get oh, I pressed yes. Fuck. Let's see if he declines. Perfect, I got lucky. that almost could have been really bad. What was I saying? Forward 3, very strong combo starter, big damage. But it's still not the greatest move in the world. The range is still not great, although it is. It's actually buffed quite a bit. This is more for your 50-50, which for Jin it's either wave dash in with a hell sweep or go forward 3, start your combo. If you play Kazuya, you know all about this, although it is significantly weaker on Jin. While standing punishments, I believe 13 frame is this. I think crouch jab, you just get a crouch jab for 10 frame. Generally though, he has a new move as his 11 frame, which is Kazumi's while standing 4. It's a multi-hit, very good in this game. That's a really good buff giving him this. So for like very safe lows, you punish with this. For heavy lows, like that are kind of laggy, you punish with this, and you explode. What else? What am I missing? I feel like I've gone over like as I said before, this isn't like meant to be like a super in-depth guide. If you just search up like Jin combos Tekken 8, you can find a lot of combo stuff. I don't like just doing like filling my guides with combos. I'll get into the basis. So generally your combos are going to look like after your launcher, you're going to be using your forward 3-2 or forward 3, forward 2. I guess you have to hold forward. So if you just I'll slow it down, we just do a launch, forward 3, forward 2, and then we can extend. You can do another one. This used to start a combo, it doesn't anymore, you just get a little thing like that. So now what we do is we do generally speaking, after this move we do back forward 2. Back forward 2, 3, so we will go like this. Back forward 2, 3, and then we hold forward and we hold up and press 1. So this is his combos are basically the same as Tekken 7, but that's like the big difference. Now after the down forward 2, 3, you hold up and you press. Wait. You hold up and you press 1. That's the only real difference. you get this, and then you can try and carry him to wall for big damage. But yeah, there's plenty of combo guides on YouTube. I'm not trying to like compete with those. You go look up combo guides. I just wanted to like get into like kind of like the neutral. With Jin, I think his range is a lot better, but a lot of people are going to try and box you out, specifically because they know lower level Jins are looking for the down 2. They're looking for the forward 4. So a lot of people are just going to try and stay back and just throw out like launchers. You can play slow. I know the game's all about aggression, but like you have very good camping tools if you want to like wait out the clock. This move is fucking insane with down 2. And we've discussed his poking is very good strings. Yeah, that's probably gonna do it. This is Jin Kazama, very basic. Again, I've only played 1 day on the character. I made it to Warrior, which is the highest rank in the beta for some reason. Although rank doesn't really mean anything in this because you don't lose anything, and everyone just rage quits. And it's only best of 3, which I don't know why they did that. But yeah, this is my little Jin Kazama beginner's guide. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. If you did learn something, please consider dropping a subscribe to the channel. It only takes like 1 second for you, and it really helps me because I'm trying to make something out of this doing YouTube. So yeah, stay tuned for more Tekken content, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.